The world watched in shock as a Chinese Coast Guard ship rammed a Philippine supply vessel near 2nd Thomas Shoal on August 15, 2025. Stark images showed a massive Chinese ship colliding with a smaller Philippine boat, its crew scrambling for safety as water cannons blasted the deck. This was the most brazen act yet in a series of confrontations. China's gray zone tactics had reached a new peak. For the Philippines, this was a direct assault on sovereignty. The outpost on the BRP Sierra Madre, a grounded WW2-era ship, had become a symbol of Filipino defiance. Each resupply mission was a gamble through waters claimed by Beijing, with Chinese ships forming a maritime blockade. International condemnation followed, but for the sailors, words offered little protection. The incident sent shockwaves through Manila, prompting President Marcos Jr. to convene an emergency meeting with defense officials. The mood, grim but resolute. The Philippines was being tested, diplomatic protests were no longer enough, a new strategy was needed, built on credible strength and alliances. The confrontation was a painful reminder. In the South China Sea, international law is only as strong as the will to enforce it. The question was no longer if a new approach was needed, but what it would look like. This clash became the catalyst for a strategic realignment. The Philippines realized it could not stand alone against its giant neighbor. It needed strong, reliable partners committed to a free and open Indo-Pacific. The urgency to deepen security ties with like-minded nations was clear. The dramatic footage did more than dominate headlines, it accelerated a shift already underway. A new chapter in regional security was about to be written. The stakes had never been higher. The Philippines was ready to forge new alliances. The world was watching as the region's future hung in the balance. Just weeks after the standoff, a historic event unfolded in Tokyo. On September 1, 2025, Philippine President Marcos Jr. and Japanese Prime Minister Kishida signed the Reciprocal Access Agreement, or RAA. For the first time, Japanese self-defense forces could be stationed in the Philippines for joint training, and Filipino troops could access Japan. The handshake between the leaders marked a powerful new alliance. The RAA moved the relationship beyond friendship to a true strategic partnership. Decades of economic ties and cautious military cooperation gave way to a legal framework for large-scale drills. Japanese fighter jets could now fly with Filipino counterparts over the Luzon Strait. Japanese naval vessels could dock in Subic Bay for integrated operations. This shift was born from shared anxieties over regional instability and China's expansionist claims. For Japan, freedom of navigation is an economic lifeline. For the Philippines, it's about protecting sovereignty. The RAA aligns these interests, creating a mechanism for joint action to uphold international law. The signing ceremony was filled with symbolism, transforming a history of conflict into a future of shared defense. The ghosts of World War II were finally being laid to rest by the realities of the 21st century. The agreement signals to the region, and to Beijing, that a new security dynamic is emerging. The Philippines and Japan are now allies, bound to train, operate, and stand together. A new era of regional security had begun. The alliance quickly moved from words to action. Japan accelerated the transfer of 6 destroyer escorts to the Philippines, formidable ships capable of anti-submarine warfare and air defense. The first 2 arrived at Subic Bay in July 2025, greeted by top defense officials. This transfer marked a significant upgrade for the Philippine Navy. Alongside the ships, Japan pledged over $10 million in defense aid, including advanced radar, communications equipment, and training. The goal: enhance the Philippines' maritime domain awareness and ability to defend its waters. These Japanese-built ships provide a credible deterrent. Chinese vessels now think twice before harassing Philippine boats. The vessels are interoperable with US and allied navies, deepening strategic trust. This marks a major evolution in Japan's foreign policy, moving from pacifism to proactive security support. The Philippines is a primary beneficiary of this new approach. Japan's investment in Philippine security is an investment in its own. The alliance is now anchored in steel, not just promises. The message is clear: Japan and the Philippines stand together. To grasp today's partnership, we must remember the scars of history. World War II left deep wounds. Atrocities like the Bataan Death March and the Battle of Manila created lasting mistrust. For decades, a military alliance was unthinkable. Post-war reconciliation began slowly, with peace treaties and Japanese reparations helping rebuild the Philippines. Economic ties grew, but emotional wounds lingered. Security matters were left to the US. Japan focused on economic growth. The rise of China's maritime ambitions changed everything. Manila and Tokyo now faced a common threat, pushing aside old grievances. Shared security concerns transformed a cautious partnership into a robust alliance. Geography that once made them adversaries now makes them indispensable partners. For decades, Philippines-Japan relations meant economic cooperation. ODA, infrastructure investment and jobs. Security was America's domain. Japan was the economic powerhouse. But as China's maritime aggression grew, both nations realized prosperity is fragile without security. The trust built through economic partnership became the foundation for military cooperation. The relationship matured from donor-recipient to strategic equals. Joint military exercises evolved from observer roles to full-scale drills with US and Australian forces. These exercises build real-world interoperability and trust. Diplomatic language now emphasizes defense, security, and a rules-based order. Economic ties remain strong but are now one pillar of a broader alliance. The transformation is clear. Economic and national security are two sides of the same coin. The Philippines and Japan now face the future as partners in both prosperity and defense. The alliance is resilient, ready for the challenges of the Indo-Pacific. Security and economics are now inseparable. Japan's Official Security Assistance, or OSA, is a game-changer. Launched in 2023, OSA lets Japan provide defense equipment and support directly to partners like the Philippines. The Philippines was among the first recipients, a clear sign of its strategic importance. Through OSA, Japan delivered modern patrol vessels to the Philippine Coast Guard, like the Teresa Magbanua class. These ships, equipped with advanced systems and helipads, extend the Coast Guard's reach and endurance. OSA includes spare parts, maintenance training, and technical expertise, building long-term self-reliance. Japanese experts work side by side with Filipino crews, sharing best practices and fostering deep partnership. The result, a more capable, professional maritime force. Japan is now investing in the hard security of its allies, not just development. The partnership was tested during the Scarborough Shoal standoff in early 2025. Filipino fishing boats, escorted by the Japanese-built BRP Gabriela Silang, faced a Chinese blockade. The modern vessel's maneuverability and communications allowed the crew to document Chinese harassment in real time. The footage was broadcast globally, exposing China's actions and rallying diplomatic support. The ship's presence shielded Filipino fishermen and symbolized Philippine resolve. Japanese-backed equipment empowered the Philippines to stand up for its rights. The standoff showed the alliance's real-world impact. The Philippines would not be passively pushed out of its own waters. Thanks to Japan, it now had the tools and the confidence to push back. The Philippines-Japan alliance is part of a larger Indo-Pacific security network. Alongside the US and Australia, they form a Quad+1 dynamic, building a robust security architecture. Joint military drills now include all four nations, creating seamless deterrence. Each brings unique strengths: US intelligence, Japanese naval platforms, Australian amphibious expertise, and Philippine frontline presence. This synergy makes the alliance more resilient and effective. Beyond military exercises, they share intelligence, coordinate disaster response, and speak with a unified diplomatic voice. The message aggression will be met with a coordinated response. Together, they reinforce the rules-based order and regional stability. The Philippines-Japan defense partnership is set to deepen. With the RAA in place, expect more frequent complex joint drills and technology sharing. Future collaboration could include co-developing patrol vessels, drones, and secure networks. The goal: seamless joint operations and real-time communication. A Japanese destroyer and a Philippine frigate operating as one. This is the ultimate expression of trust. From 1-2 adversaries to indispensable allies, their journey is a lesson in overcoming history. Their partnership, forged in steel, is about preventing conflict and upholding peace. The future of the Indo-Pacific will be shaped by cooperation, not coercion.